Hello and welcome to another episode of Old Mate's Adventures. Today I'm keen to go on an adventure to try and catch a fish. I wanted to take you through my process of how to identify a location to go and explore. I use a website called Queensland Globe, and it's a fantastic resource for all manner of information. But what we're going to use it for today is to identify where there's reserve parcels of land. So you have all your layers on the left hand side here, and we're going to scroll down to the planning cadaster and then tick on a layer called lease and reserve parcels. And once you zoom in, it shows all the land that's classified as reserve. And reserves are fantastic for exploring because they're far less restrictive than state forests and national parks. From what I understand, you're allowed to have a small contained fire and you're allowed to cut down some vegetation, but just make sure you touch base with your local council in regards to the reserve land that's in your district. So I've identified a little reserve block here that's next to Baffle Creek, which is just north of Bundaberg, and it's a pretty renowned fishing river. And this reserve parcel butts up against what's called Bottle Tree Creek here, which is a little subsidiary that comes off the Baffle. What I'm hoping to do is to be able to get into this block and try and get here somewhere, because you can see that there's a bit of a channel that runs along the bank here, and I reckon that'd be a great spot to flick some lures. So we'll give that a crack, see if we can get in there and have a go at catching a fish. So we'll see how we go. Bit of storm damage in here. I have to clear a bit of this up to get through. Oh, I went to pick this stick up and I just got stung by something. See that there? That is a paper wasp nest. Yeah, I've gone to pick that stick up. There's been a paper wasp there and it stung my finger. Bastard. Fuck, that hurt. Hell yeah, this spot is mint. The tent that's been left here. I reckon this would be a good spot. There's all this fallen bark here that I can utilise. And what I'm thinking is I might just pick a couple of stakes in here and then layer that bark against those two branches to act as a bit of a windbreak, because that wind's just coming straight through here. And then I could just have a little fire there, and then I've got this stump over here that I can sit on and cast a few lures out that way. Yeah, it must have been a storm cell come through here and it's just reaped carnage, and there's just timber down everywhere. So there is plenty of wood to utilise without having to cut down any green timber, which is good. what I've got going on today in order to get a cup of tea going is I've got a bit of wood there with a fork in it that I'm using to hold the billy, and then I've put a piece of wood across up over the fire, and I've put cut that nice and thin and put a little hole in the top of it, and then I've cut a notch in this part at the top at the right height so that I can just put that little notch in the hole, and that'll just sit there and hold the billy over the fire. And then if you had a bit more time, or you're doing this a bit more permanently, you put a few more notches in that branch, and that way you can adjust the height depending on what you're cooking. So this here is a little tea pouch that I made out of rue leather. So it's just a little pouch, got a couple of buttons. Just put my tea bags and a bit of sugar in there. It's really easy to make. It's just one rectangular piece of leather, and I've just folded it back over and left enough for a flap, and then got a hole punch and punched a heap of holes down each side, and then got some thin rue leather and then just stitched it together on each side, and then I've punched a couple of holes in it and just put these little buttons on it. Yeah, and that just makes a little pouch. It's nice and cheap, and yeah, I just love stuff that's made out of original materials, leather and cotton, canvas, wool, that sort of thing. Just feels nice. Alright, can have a bit of a fish today. Put along a travel rod. Should I give some squidgies a go? Or should I give the transom a go? I think I'll give this one a go. Oh yeah, good to go. Let's see what's out of here. Right in those snags down there. That's where the fish are. There's got to be something down in this gully, just along this edge here, surely. Check that seagull out up there. Just chilling. Might go back and have a cup of tea and have a think about it. Really happy with this rod. It's fantastic. It casts really well. Travel rod they're called. 4-piece. Yeah, not much luck with the fishing today. I don't think I picked the timing right. I need to be out here right on the change of tide, I think. But yeah, it's quite enjoyable nonetheless. It's a beautiful spot. This is Baffle Creek, this one. Yeah, so I'm just going to kick back, have another cup of tea and head home. So more of just a mini adventure this one today. Alright, catch you next time.